A legal showdown is apparently looming between the state of Maine and a nurse who returned recently from treating Ebola patients in Sierra Leone. Governor Paul LePage said Thursday that he would exercise the full extent of the law to compel Kaci Hickox to comply with the state's quarantine policy. But Hickox says a quarantine is unnecessary, and she defied officials by leaving her home for a bicycle ride.
It's pretty bold of you to go out on a bike ride while the state police are here.
Kaci, There's no legal action against me, so I'm free to go on a bike ride in my hometown.
What is the status of the court order, Kaci?
I don't know. When you find out, you tell me.
Tom Pelletier is the police chief for Fort Kent, Maine, and he joins us from there. Chief Pelletier, thank you so much for taking some time with us. I do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It's my understanding that you have talked to Kaci. Can you give us any indication of the nature of that conversation?
I spoke briefly with Kaci. I actually spoke at length with Ted Wilbur, her boyfriend, just letting them know what we were here to help them out in any way that we could to provide safety for them as well as our community. Let them know what our community concerns were, and ask them to just kind of bear with us during this time.
Give us then a little bit more insight about what your role as the police chief, what the role of your police department is here in this case. Is it your obligation to protect Kaci and her safety, or to protect the public and their safety?
Our obligation is to protect everybody, the public, the citizens of Fort Kent, as well as Kaci. And as long as she is in our town, her safety is of concern of ours too. There have been some nasty web pages out there making threats, and we're concerned about everybody that is in that neighborhood, as well as Kaci and those threats that are coming from the websites.
Can you give us a general idea of the sentiment of the public there in your community and how they feel about A, Kaci's presence there, and B, her determination to defy this self-quarantine?
Well, I think that it's mixed. We have some people that are really vocal about us thinking that our job is to arrest Kaci and restrict her movements, which in fact there is nothing legally binding that requires us to do that. I think she has abided by the restrictions that have been given to her. She hasn't been in any mass gathering places. She has been basically confined to her home. She went on a bike ride this morning in a very remote area on a nature trail and had no contact with anybody out there. And the governor has agreed in his, actually set out in his last press release that was actually allowable. So she has done nothing at this point that she has not been allowed to do.
And of course, the governor said that he would seek a court order, or that he was considering seeking a court order to compel her to abide by this quarantine and to stay away from public places until November 10th. Do you have any indication that he will, in fact, issue this court, or this court order would be issued by a judge?
I have had no communications to tell me that that court order is in place. With the governor's office, I think the Maine State Police are in direct contact with the governor's office. We share some of the duties and responsibilities in providing safety to our community here with them. But I have no indication as to where they sit with that, if in fact he has even filed for one.
Is there any preparation being made there in your police department or even in the local hospital for the remote possibility that Kaci might in fact develop symptoms of Ebola?
Absolutely. We have been in contact with our local hospital and our medical officials there. They've assured us that they do have a plan in place to take care of that possibility if it does arise. And our hospital is prepared. They provided some training to officers here at our department and to the local community to try to bring out an awareness of what Ebola is and exactly how it is transmitted. And in fact, we haven't reached a point to where Kaci is symptomatic. So I guess I'm going by what the medical professionals are telling us.
I understand that. Police Chief Tom Pelletier, thank you so much for taking some time with us.
And thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.